Today we'll discuss iterative construction Java for loop. This is chapter number 8. Okay, what exactly we are going to discuss in this chapter? Let us understand the definition, what exactly we mean by iterative construct, the types of looping. There are two types in this, entry control and exit control. Entry control stands for when the conditional checking is at the beginning. So there are two types in this, for and while. We'll be seeing them each individually. We also have exit control loop, but this year we don't have. It has been cancelled for from the portion for this year. So we have the do while loop where the condition is checked at the end. And what is the syntax of each loop? What are the programs based on that? Then two more things: break and continue statement. This is basically we are going to cover in this chapter. Now, when we talk about loops, loops is nothing but if you want to do something again and again. So we can easily do that with the help of loop. Okay. So like if you want to print a sentence 50 times on your screen, you can simply make use of either you can write printer that is system.out.println 50 times, or other way around it, you can simply write system.out.println once and you can write a loop for that. That is, I'll just show you with an example. Just a minute. Okay, let's take a new class. My example. Okay, now here, let's open it. So normally when we write a code, let's say I write the class name, my example. Okay, we start it with curly brace, we end it with curly brace. And normally we would write is public static void main bracket string args. Okay, now here we'll be writing the code. Whatever the code is there, we'll be writing the code over here. Normally, if I want to display something on the screen, I would simply write system.out.println and whatever text is there. Let's say I want to display hello. So one way is I would simply write it once. But if I want to display it 5 times, the best way is I would simply copy. Not the best way actually. We would simply write hello this way. Okay, this is one way of writing. It's not feasible, but this is how we generally do. Still, we are not using a loop. So this is very tedious because if the 5 statements, it is okay. But if I want to display it 50 times, then it becomes very difficult. I can't go on typing 50 times, 100 times. So for that, we have the concept of loop. So how we can do it? I'll just take one small example for this. I can make use of for loop. Okay, here I would specify one counter. So here I'm saying integer I. I will stand as a counter. Initial value it will take is I, and it should go up to 5 because I want to display it 5 times. So I would write I is less than equal to 5 semicolon, and how many steps it should take. So it should increment by 1. So that is the reason I have written I plus plus. Okay, let us remove all this. Now here, if you observe what is the case, let us understand it. If I run this now, this will work for 5 times. If I want it 50 times, it's very simple. I have to do only 50 over here. So this really is quite helpful. If I want to display 100 times, I can get 50 hellos over here. So the main idea of using a loop is what? If you want to do something again and again, that is what is the idea. So we have used one of the loops, which is the for loop. Let's come back to the topic. So this is what we mean by loops. Now in that we have two types. In that we have entry control and exit control. Now what do you mean the entry control? The conditional checking is happening at the beginning. So let's say we have the for loop. So we would write for over here and for loop. Okay. So for is the keyword in brackets. This is the initial value, the counter. We'll keep a counter which will count how many times the loop should work. So initialization, then a semicolon, test expression, semicolon, and update. And in this is nothing but a body of the loop. So let's say first time the initialization expression will take place. conditional will checking will happen. If it is true, then it will go inside the loop. So this and then the update. So this way it will continue. As soon as it becomes false, it will come out of it. So if you see the program over here, let's come back to the program. You will find that initial value of I is 1. So here we can say the value of I initially is what. I can take annotations and I can just explain you. Okay. So let's take some simple annotation. So here let's say we have got I, correct? So here the value of I is initially 1. Now what happens? Let's keep this value small because it will take a lot of time. So let's keep it 5. Here when i's value is 1, so what will happen? 1 is less than 5, yes, so it will enter and hello will be displayed. Next time I will get incremented. So I will take the next value, that is the second value, which is 2. So 2 is less than 5, yes, so 2 again hello will get displayed. The next value I will take is 3. Now 3 is less than 5, yes, so again the third time the hello will get displayed. I will take the next value, that is 4. Now 4 is less than 5, yes. So again hello will get displayed the fourth time. The next value I will take is 5. Now 5 is less than 5 or equal to 5, yes. So again fifth time hello will get displayed. And once it becomes 6, okay, what will happen? 6 is not less than or equal to 5, so it will exit the loop. That is, it will stop the loop. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, this is what is your for loop. So next, let's go for the next loop. Next is your while loop. Now, while loop, there is a difference between for and while. So, while what happens? You have a while. Here we have a condition. So, the way of writing is different. Okay. Otherwise, overall it is same. It is an entry control loop. You will have a test expression over there. If it is true, then it will enter the body. This way it will continue. As soon as the condition is false, it will come out. So, we can see here. Uh, let's take the program for while. Just for your comparison, because let's take the same here. Only thing what we have to understand is, I'll open that for loop also. Okay, so this is your for loop. I'll remove the continue and all that. That we have to take in the next. Okay, so here if you say start is 1, stop is 10, it is incrementing by 1 and we are displaying. This is your for loop. Same program can be written using while. So what we have done here, we have the syntax is while, and in brackets we'll write the condition. Then in curly braces we'll write the statement. And after the statement is executed, this is where your update will be written. This is where your initialization will be written. Okay, it will give you the same output, only the way of writing is different. So if you execute the program, again you will find that it will give you 10 values. So what is the difference? Where is the placement? I'll just put comment so that it is clear over here. Okay. Here, this is your initialization. This is your test expression. This is your update. Whereas in case of while, this is your initialization. This is your test condition. And this is your update. So we just have to identify where exactly we are supposed to keep this. Okay, that's it. So next class I will discuss about the next two things, that is break and continue. Already you can refer the programs. I have already discussed the programs for in the practical section. So you can go for that particular tutorial. You will get a lot of programs on for. Thank you.